much and welcome to Feast in the Middle East. I'm at my favorite place, the farmer's market. This is where I get all of the inspirations for a lot of the dishes that I share on this show. Today, I'm going to explore dandelion greens. Now, a lot of you might overlook dandelion greens. So many of you probably buy kale and spinach and all that good stuff, but dandelion greens are rich in vitamin K, vitamin A, vitamin C, plus they are fantastic prepared the Middle Eastern way, which I'm going to share with you later on. But first, we need to hunt for these dandelion greens, see what they look like, and show you the best, most beautiful kinds to buy. So let's go this direction right here, where I know they've got a stash of dandelion greens. When you're buying dandelion greens, you want to look for thin stems. You see how these are quite thin and very firm, and you want leaves that are quite large and firm as well. So this is like a perfect bunch of dandelion greens, which I'm going to use for this dish.
I also need to get one onion. This is gorgeous. Look at that. Perfect.
Now I can't wait to show you how to cook these greens. This is one of my all-time favorites growing up. These are beloved in the Middle East. We love dandelion greens the way people in the South love collard greens. Just to go into more detail, dandelion greens are the leaves of the dandelion plant, which is recognizable by its yellow flower and its status as a weed in yards around the world. But make no mistake, this is not a weed, folks. There is a massive amount of nutritional benefits that you can get from dandelion greens. Although some people with kidney problems might steer away from greens because of high oxalates. As far as oxalates go, dandelion greens have fewer oxalates than spinach, and the way that we Arabs prepare it makes sure to leach out as much of the oxalate as possible. For those of you unfamiliar with oxalates, they are basically organic compounds that latch on to minerals and flush them out of the body before they are absorbed. Now, one way to get rid of oxalates is to boil the greens, which is what I'm going to do for about 10 minutes, but it's totally optional. You don't have to take this extra step if you don't want to. You could just saute the greens with the onions without having to boil them first. What's amazing is Arabs innately knew how to maximize nutritional absorption from this green. So there's a ton of vitamin K and A and C in dandelion greens. And what they did was they paired it with olive oil and citrus, like lemon juice. And what both of those do, between the vitamin C and the citrus and the good fat from the olive oil, is it helps the body extract and get those minerals and absorb them. Now that you know all about dandelion greens, let's get to work and show you how easy it is to prepare.
Okay, so I brought the greens home from the farmer's market and I've got a big bunch over here. I also have lemon. I know this is huge, but I have a lemon tree that makes super-sized lemons. Harvest piece olive oil, any kind of olive oil will do, but this is my favorite, and I do have a discount code in the description box below. One onion, some fresh sumac, which is a great lemony spice, and some garlic. Traditionally, Hindbeh doesn't have garlic, but I like to add it because I love garlic with greens.
First, as I mentioned before, I'm bringing a big pot of water to boil, adding these greens and going to boil for about 10 minutes to remove the oxalates. Then squeeze it all dry into a colander. As you can see, it shrank substantially, so use 2 bunches of greens if you can, and then I'm just cutting them into bite-sized pieces before I add them to the saute pan. Next is my addition to this recipe, a couple of cloves of garlic, because I like garlic with everything, especially greens. If you don't like garlic, you can leave it out. And I'm adding 1 large onion, which I'm chopping into fine cubes. I like to add 3 tablespoons of good quality fruity olive oil. Use more or less depending on your preference. I'm going to add the onions first, which I will saute until they're a beautiful golden brown color before adding the garlic. You don't want the garlic to burn, so I basically just saute the garlic for about 1 minute more before adding the greens. Of course, add salt to taste, and if you want pepper, you could add that as well. Now I'm adding back the dandelion greens. To be honest, you don't need to cook it too much because it was boiled for 10 minutes, so I'm just gonna saute it for about 1 minute more.
Make sure you add a little bit more salt to the greens. And now the magic, sumac. Sumac is a beautiful lemony spice from the sumac berry, and this is what gives it its beautiful Middle Eastern flavor. And now the final touch to bring this dish together is lemon juice. I love more lemon juice rather than less, but put as much as you prefer. Remember, the lemon juice helps you absorb the iron and other minerals from the greens. Here's a serving suggestion, one of my goofy childhood favorites. I would take pita bread, smear it with some creamy hummus, and then top it with the delicious Hindbeh salad. I know this might sound strange to some people, but I went to town on this sandwich. It is literally one of my favorites of all time. The weather is finally starting to warm up here in California, so I'm going to take this opportunity to just get outside and enjoy my sandwich. This is the sandwich of my dreams when I used to be a kid. I never used to want to eat this like at school because the kids would make fun of me. I mean, Lord knows they made fun of me for me eating hummus, let alone hummus with a bunch of greens in there. How could something so simple taste so rich and so delicious? So the point of this show was to introduce you to a new green that has so much nutrition, and if you don't want to try dandelion greens, you could probably do this with Swiss chard, with spinach, with even kale if you wish. You know, even if you hate greens, trying this recipe might just change your mind. I'm not kidding. Like, as a kid, what kid would eat a bunch of green stuff, right? But this was my one exception. I loved this food, hands down. Every time my mom made it, I was down for the cause. For more easy, healthy Mediterranean recipes that you can fit into your lifestyle, please subscribe. Check out my playlist. I've got all of the recipes organized according to vegetarian entrees, main entrees, desserts, appetizers, salads, you name it, it's there. And the reason why I created the cookbook was, first, you guys demanded it, and second, it's a great place to have all of these recipes in one place with meticulous directions. Let me know what other kind of recipes you'd like to see in future episodes, and I will see you soon.